happened to the great men of the past? When I study history, I see many historical figures that stun me. Bismarck, Napoleon, Frederick the Great, Peter the Great, Catherine the Great, Constantine, Trajan, Augustus, Julius Caesar, Alexander the Great, so many people. These great men had such an impact on history that their name echoes. It echoes throughout all of history, all of human history, all the way up until this point. A man from 2,000 years ago we remember today. There's a month named after him. What happened? Where are they now? In this modern age, we don't have any more heroes. We don't have any more epic poems like Virgil. No great paintings like the Mona Lisa. No great heroes like Bismarck uniting our people. Now, I will concede that Trump could be seen as this, but he's just one man. And I don't think that his successes can be compared to that of Julius Caesar or Constantine or Aurelian or Bismarck or any of these other people. Throughout history, in each century, there were many people like this. I believe with the beginning of the modern age, the reduction of the necessity for taking on risk has had a substantial effect. Among other things that have domesticated us like TV, media, and plenty of consumerism, we lack those traits that we used to have. We lost the traits of boldness, of ambition, of honor, of virtue, and the desire to bring glory to your people, name, God, and family line. People might say it's fine because it's not needed in the modern age, but, well, what have you done? You say it's not necessary like you're an expert, but you haven't done any of this. You haven't gone on the moon. You haven't revolutionized literature or music. You haven't done anything great that lets you stand amongst these giants. I do not argue that we need to go out into the woods and live like ancient men with rocks, but I do say that our psychology and our belief system needs to be changed. While it may not bring anything material, does everything need to be about the material? Does everything need to be about GDP going up? Does everything need to be about stress-freeness? That life is about stress. There is no life without stress. As men, we seek to build, protect, and destroy many things. It's in our nature to want to be these great men, to seek the levels of greatness they achieved. Yet, whilst we silence this urge with useless dopamine, our society collapses around us, and we cower from our obligation to fix it. In Virgil's Aeneid, there's this quote, which some of you may recognize. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. There's nothing achieved, no great accomplishment, without grabbing your life with your own two arms, denying it to be subjugated to this meaningless degeneracy, and willing it to be fixed in God's image, with His help, of course. But the point remains the same. Alexander the Great said, "There's nothing impossible to him who will try." And I think a man who freaking conquered the entire known world with only 10,000 dudes against an army of 1,000,000 knows about risk. I think he knows about risk, right? You know, Julius Caesar, he conquered all of Gaul with only like 70,000 guys, I think, and he killed almost around 1,000,000 and enslaved over 1,000,000. So basically, he fought over 1,000,000 people with barely a tenth of that. And he won practically every battle. That's insane. Those are insane odds. Our problem is that we look at everything mathematically and kind of like more about, well, how does this help me? This is not material. This doesn't bring me closer in society. This doesn't help me in any way, but it does help you. You're just not looking at it in a way that does help you. I mean, that sounds kind of stupid, but if you think about it, it's not. I mean, really, what we got to realize is that we think about all these odds, right? We think about how everything's pro or con, but maybe it's okay to fail. I mean, maybe it's okay to fail and to not care about the cons or the pros and think about the purpose, think about the obligation you have, think about kind of the ambition. I mean, like Frederick the Great, was like in control of the small little state and fought practically all of Europe. Well, he didn't fight all of Europe, but he fought a lot of larger surrounding neighbors, and he won. And then it's the same thing with Napoleon, and he lost, yet we remember him, and what he did has had such a substantial effect on society that everything was changed in Europe. Monarchies had to completely, radically change how they did things because of Napoleon. I'm not saying I agree with his achievements. I'm just looking at his achievements in awe of the odds. And we look back at him and we remember him because that's crazy. One guy from Corsica, who's a peasant, became emperor of Europe in a lifetime. Actually, less than a lifetime, because he didn't even die yet. That's crazy. And we don't have anybody like that in our modern age. We just have, occasional cool shows. I'm like, oh, that guy's a cool writer. And then it's like, you don't have that for another 10 years. Then you have one cool billionaire who shows up, does a couple of cool things, and that's it. That's not greatness. That's not great. Where's the greatness? There's nothing that's like, you know what? I'm going to paint something so beautiful that everybody in the world cries. That's greatness. Seeking to do something so great that it does that substantial effect, that's greatness. Elon Musk going to go to Mars and completely terraform it to make it a new colonial position for man, that's a great thing to seek. I'm not saying he's a great guy, I don't necessarily like him, but still, that's greatness. That's what one of these great men would do. And Jeff Bezos is not a great guy. I mean, his story is cool. It's like, wow, he was nobody, now he's somebody. But, I mean, anybody can become somebody. All you need to do is just sit in front of a camera on YouTube or go on OnlyFans like a whore. But, I mean, we have to seek something that is so great, that is so much above us, that we don't seek it necessarily for our own elevation, but we seek it for this kind of, how do I put this, this object that will be great for everybody around you. It's like, wow, I'm going to do this thing, and it's going to be me, and I'm just going to do it. I don't care how many times I fall down. I'm just going to keep hitting the wall until the wall effing falls down, and then when it falls down, my people will be freed from being walled in. Or I'm going to build this wall so big that nobody will be ever to hurt my people again. I don't care how many times I fall off the ladder building the wall, I'm going to build that damn wall. And that's just how it works. And if you fail, then you succeed. Because there's success and failure. Because each time you fail, you learn. There is no success without failure. Because you have to... I mean, how do you learn your bike? How do you learn how to bike? You don't just, like, sit on the freaking pedals that they give you, the child pedals that, like, help you ride it, the tricycle pedals. You don't use that, and then that's how you ride a bike. No. You take it off, and you fall down a few times, you get hurt, you get back up, you get back on it, you ride the bike, and then, boom, now you know how to ride a bike. That's how we need to approach things. We have to cancel out this, I'm just going to be a nobody, sit in a cubicle, get 100,000 a year, 60,000 a year, do nothing great with my life, maybe have a couple of kids, continue my family name, but that's about it. That's nothing. You're nobody. You're sitting in a cubicle doing nothing. You can't be doing that. I mean, you have these people who are so content with their life because of all the consumerism, and it's sad. It's like, what happened to these people like Basil II or Justinian the Great, refusing to fall down from the waves of time hitting against them? Like, I'm going to force the destiny of Rome despite the odds. You got to get out of the McDonald's employee job. You got to get out of the 9 to 5 and say, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do anything. I'm just going to throw out the ball. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do something. And I'm just going to keep doing that thing until I'm the best at it, and then I'm going to win, and then everybody's going to love me, and I'm going to make so much money. Right? I'm going to be so great because I did that thing so well that nobody can say that they were better than me. I mean, that's how Kanye West became so popular. Now, he says some controversial things recently. That's a little crazy. But when he was in his peak in the early 2000s, that's how he approached it. I mean, wasn't he, like, from the hood? Wasn't he like poor. Now he's rich. He's like became a billionaire. That's how you gotta do it. And so, you know, I'm gonna finish up the app. You gotta get in the gym, read, and quit being this little ant that doesn't have any purpose. Seek purpose, find purpose, and be the best at that. That's what we have to do. And do not cower from greatness and risk. Embrace risk. Embrace risk.